Hey guys, today we're going to discuss which is better, using a calming collar or CBD oil for your cats.
So a couple of months ago, after Momo was diagnosed with FIC, we tried different options to get his anxiety levels and his stress levels down. The first thing we tried out under the recommendation of our vet was a calming collar. So those are quite widely available at vet clinics or over the internet. And in South Africa, at least, they average around 385 to 450 Rand, depending on the brand. They're advertised to last around a month and needing to be replaced then. But we actually found that it was really only effective for the first 2 weeks or so. Afterwards, it would slowly lose its potency.
It lost its effectiveness quite quickly. So those first 2 weeks was really effective. You could see it really did its job, but then very quickly it lost its effectiveness.
Additionally to that, it's also very limited in options. So the ones we got were purple, which, I mean, it's an aesthetic thing, but we didn't really like that much. And obviously, being collars, they also get quite itchy, and you're not supposed to take them off at any time. So we had quite a few problems with both Kebi and Momo, who got very frustrated because they kept having to scratch their necks. And we obviously don't want to stress them out by making them uncomfortable either, so we kind of felt like the collars weren't a good option for us.
And on top of that, it made the cats smell funny. You could smell that active ingredient that the collar was giving off to calm the cats, and well, it wasn't really pleasing to us. And the other cats smelled them as well and was a bit iffy.
We're cat sniffers, and as weird as that sounds, it's like smelling a newborn baby. It has that specific smell, and then when it goes away or it's covered by something else, it was very odd to us. And obviously it created a bit of tension between the cats as well, because they couldn't necessarily, it's not that they didn't recognize one another, but you could tell that there was a little bit of tension because of the additional smell. If you want more information on the collars we used, we will put a link down below in the description for you to look at our video about the collars specifically.
I'll put a local South African link as well as an international link to something similar if I can find it. Then in comparison, the CBD oil is a lot cheaper. It's about 345 Rand for a bottle that lasts us plus minus a month and a half. At least that was the first bottle that we had lasted that long, and that was while trying to figure out the dosage for each cat. And there's a whole lot more advantages in my opinion.
We also used the CBD on all 5 cats instead of just 2 of them. So this is 345 Rand for one bottle for a month and a half for 5 cats, not 2.
So effectively much cheaper. I mean, the collar would be around 600, 800 Rand for 2 cats, whereas this is 350 bucks for 5 cats. So a lot more affordable.
We also found out with the CBD, which is great, is that obviously it comes, you give it in drops, which means you can adjust dosages, which means that some of our cats who don't have any issues, we can give very low dosages just to keep them calm and avoid issues in the future, while giving higher dosages to the cats that have issues, like Momo with his FIC, so we can hopefully keep any symptoms at bay and help him fight the issue.
Yeah, for instance, we give Rio and Alice, I think 3 drops every evening, although they don't really need it. They each have a bit of a UTI infection issue that comes up every now and then, and this just combats that a little bit, and it's really been working. Neither of them have been having any issues since we've started them on the oil. Another good thing is, obviously, it's drops. You can't see anything. They don't walk around with those ugly collars every day, and there's no itching going on either.
It's easily disguisable in food, so it's very easy to administer, and they don't seem to mind it or taste it. With other medication, Maya especially has a gift for picking it out of her food if we try to do it that way, so we do have to pill her the correct way. But with the CBD, she doesn't seem to mind it at all, so it's been quite easy to give them their dosage.
To me, it even looks like they enjoy finishing it. at least Kebby and Maya might be the food, but might be the oil, but they literally lick the balls clean after they're done.
We also haven't seen any other side effects from using the oil, which is great. Obviously, that depends from one cat to another, and if you do decide to try CBD on your cat, please do it in conjunction with your vet to make sure that the dosages are correct, and to make sure that if you do see any side effects, stop giving it immediately, of course. The only side effect, but it's actually a positive side effect that we've noticed, is that 2 of our cats, Maya and Alice, who had pretty bad breath, seem to have lost that. So we don't know how that happened and what in the CBD has done that, but since starting the CBD, their breath has become much, much better. So that's another bonus.
The nice thing, obviously, about it being drops, you can adjust it if you want to up their dosage for some reason, like a thunderstorm or fireworks. It's so easy to do it. Just dose them a little bit before the fireworks, or if you can see a storm coming in, give them a couple drops extra. I think Maya and Ryu are a little bit affected by thunder, but apart from that, none of the cats are all that stressed by it. But there's always that option to do it.
So currently, what we've settled on as far as dosages, in case anyone is interested.
And it did take a week or 2 for us to settle on these numbers, but they seem to be working quite well at the moment.
We give our 2 lightweights, Ryu and Alice, who don't have any real issues and are actually really lightweights. So you generally with medication want to take weight into consideration as well. So they get 3 drops per day. We give it to them in the evenings. Then Momo gets 4 drops in the evenings. It helps him sleep, and we don't want to over-medicate him. If we feel his FIC is flaring up, we will obviously up that dosage, but for now we found that 4 drops is perfectly fine for him, and he hasn't had any flare-ups since, which is great. Then Maya, who has basically... We don't know if it's stress-related or what, but she seems to be allergic to life.
She gets these breakouts on her skin. If she has a little scratch or something, she'll lick it profusely and end up having this massive wound. So she's on permanent cortisone pill, and to reduce her anxiety, which seems to be working, she's getting 5 drops in the morning and 5 drops in the evening. And it really has been helping. I think the wound she was having at the moment is pretty much gone, and I can't see any new places where she might scratch or itch or break out again.
So it's made a big difference in her life. And then last but not least, our little trouble child, which is Kebby. So with her and her OCD licking of her stomach, we have noticed an improvement, but it's not been quite as dramatic as with the other cats. So she does still lick, she licks less. The fur has started growing back in that specific spot, but it's not perfect yet. So for now we are giving her 5 drops in the morning and in the evening, just to give her an extra boost and try to clear the issue. We have put her on an anti-anxiety from our vet. So hopefully we're hoping that with the anti-anxiety we can get her to a point where she's basically over that first phase, and then we can switch her entirely to probably also 10 drops like Maya, 5 in the morning, 5 in the evening, and then keep her off the anti-anxiety, because ideally you don't want to have your cats medicated all year round, because it's obviously like for humans, if you can avoid it, it's better that way, but sometimes alternative treatments aren't working or aren't the best, and then you have to do what's right. And in this case, so we're going half-half in the hopes that one day we can get her onto the CBD permanently and take her off the anti-anxiety.
So all in all, I think we're really impressed with the oil. I mean, we personally take it as well, not the pet one, a human provided one, if we do have anxiety or stress breakouts, and it really does work. So I definitely encourage anyone out there who has any issue with their cats to have a look into it. Go talk to your vet, see what they say, and also want to give a huge thank you to African Pure, who is the brand who supplies us with the oil in South Africa. They just make a really great product. It's all locally sourced and locally made, so we know where it's coming from.
Yeah, it's been great, and that way we also have one source for both us and the pets, and it's easy to order, very quick to deliver, and it's been a great experience all in all.
and I'll link it down below as well. I'll link the local shop down below. Internationally, I think the best thing would be just to talk to your vet, see what they recommend, and find a local brand that suits you. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Please also like the video and consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any future uploads. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Bye.